Hello again, everyone. We're doing a series on your consultation, virtual consultation in the office. What should you get from everybody? What do we versus what do we do, and what do we think is an essential way of doing it? Because again, we're all about identifying why do you have symptoms and how do we attempt to cure and address whatever the cause is so that you get resolution, so you're not struggling with these challenges this forever. And as you know, we're passionate about trying to cure you. So this one is about rosacea. Look, rosacea is a huge problem. What is rosacea? It's where you have redness, all these little abnormal veins. Maybe when you drink, it gets more red. The drinking is not causing it, although some people increasingly are allergic to sulfites. But it's that rosacea is an internal condition. Yes, the symptoms are manifested on the skin because often people have a skin manifestation of an internal issue. And we see this increasingly. Sometimes their gut is the problem, that they get the manifestation of whatever the internal condition is, internal dysfunction is. Sometimes it's the skin. Rosacea is always an internal condition. And if you don't treat the internal condition and try to definitively address and cure that, then it's going to haunt you forever. Now, rosacea is in today's world, increasingly caused or exacerbated by stress. Because what does stress do? Stress inflames you. Some people are incredibly sensitive to stress, and it inflames them increasingly. What do you have to do with it? It inflames them more than other people. Other people, it can stress them to the max. They don't get rosacea. They may have a gut issue. They may start losing their hair a little bit, but they may not get rosacea. So that's why a virtual consultation, your consultation has to be unique for you, because your genetics are an essential piece of this puzzle for solving, for addressing, for curing as much as we can your condition. The other thing I'd like to add is, look, nobody has a magic wand. People think there's a magic wand. If only I find the doctor who has the magic wand. Nobody has a magic wand. The way the body works is we do something, it responds, and we look in medicine at things in 3-month periods of time. Now, do we want you to get better immediately as much as you do? Yes. And we do our best for that. But you have to start at the starting place. It's like going on a journey. You have to start at the starting place and then you work forward. Some people have a straight trajectory from bad to good. Other people, it's a zigzag. So just understand that nothing is immediate, and you've got to be realistic about how the body works. So rosacea. So number one is part of your consultation is we find out, how do you handle stress? How do you do with stress? Okay. We look at your gut. Do you have symptoms of gut inflammation? Does your food sit in your stomach? Are you constipated? Do you have gas and bloating? And also oftentimes with rosacea, you will have, do you have it on your chest? Do you have it on your back? Is your hair, are you losing your hair? Because sometimes if your iron is low, the number one cause of hair loss is low iron, but that also will exacerbate, inflame you even more. And if you're the person who genetically is prone to demonstrate that with rosacea, then that's why we have to look at all the possible causes. What do you eat? Some people are allergic to foods, which exacerbate and inflame them more. People, everybody's sensitive to gluten now because of the way wheat is grown, and it's got more gluten allergens. A lot of people don't know that beer has a lot of glutens in it. Do you get tired after you eat sweets and bread and gluten? Because that means that you're more sensitive to it. When you're sensitive to it, it inflames you more. Some people demonstrate that by getting rosacea. Sometimes the rosacea starts just being little veins around their nose. Some people will get a big red nose over time. People think that's because they're drinking. No, it's just rosacea. Something's inflamed that needs to be addressed. I tell people with rosacea, they need to choose if they're drinking things that are low, like wine needs to be low in alcohol. The closer it is to 11 or 12%, the less sulfites, the less alcohol. Alcohol inflames people to a certain extent. I'm not anti-drinking, but again, everything in moderation. What do I do for rosacea? Okay. Also, do you sleep? Because that matters. Exercise, which helps get rid of stress. I have some people that when they're stressed, I can get rid of their rosacea, and then they get maximally stressed out because they're just the sort of person who gets stressed out. Do I have them on adrenals? Absolutely. Do I have people who have adrenal light force? Do I have people who have rosacea? I have all of them on more antioxidants internally. Look, organic sulfur, really good for rosacea. Everybody needs to be on glutathione because the oral glutathione lozenges, which taste good, they kill a lot of birds with one stone in a very good way. High dose vitamin C, R-lipoic, but in particular, organic sulfur, glutathione, and high dose vitamin C, vitamin D, omega fish oil. All those things help put out the fire of inflammation. Now, if your gut's inflamed, if you have the symptoms of gas, bloating, constipation, or diarrhea, food sitting in your stomach, I may need to give you optimized HCl. So you have enough HCl so food doesn't sit in your stomach. So when you eat it, it digests, it feels good to eat. Okay? If people have really bad gut inflammation, I put them on glutamine and Galt Fortifier. Galt Fortifier, all of these things on my website. And there's a reason that they're there, because they're there for specific treatments. I have people who have food allergies, they live on glutamine because it helps protect their gut against those allergens. Galt Fortifier, if people have particular gut issues and they've got rosacea, enlarged pores, they're more inflamed, and they've got the symptoms of gut inflammation that I've described, Galt Fortifier, 2 pills twice a day, helps heal the gut. So those things are there for a reason. Now, on the surface of your skin, what do? The first thing I do, look, you have to put out the fire internally. You have to address the cause, but you've got to, most importantly, put things on the surface of the skin, because if you don't, the skin is the last place the body will deliver nutrients. So no matter what I'm doing internally, the skin is the last place to get things. So you have to put things on the surface at the same time, concomitantly. No matter what your skin condition is. But for rosacea, I always start with serum in the morning. And if your skin is dry, which it usually is, but some people with rosacea have oily skin. They get what's called acne rosacea. They get little heaped up blood vessels, and then they make more oil because their skin's inflamed. It inflames their oil-producing glands. So number one is serum. If their skin is dry, I add wrinkle filler with the serum to lock in the moisture so they don't evaporate all the moisture out of their skin. Of course, I've got you drinking water, eating lots of green vegetables, not eating all the sweets. To help you not crave sweets, I put you on trichromium, 1 pill twice a day, because that helps you not crave sweets. So I'm doing everything I can to help you cure the problem, the cause. But serum in the daytime, wrinkle filler, And then this is step one. And then night regeneration at night. Night regeneration does something differently as far as anti-inflammatory, putting out the fire. So those are the things that I first use. If for some reason your skin is dry, despite serum and wrinkle filler in the daytime, then I have people get some emu, add a drop or two. You have to find the dose that gives you the right amount of moisture, but not too much moisture so that it sits on the surface. And then at night, night regeneration. So first I start by soothing, calming, healing the skin, putting out the inflammation, and then I progress to step two. That would be vitamin A plus. Also, look, my cleanser. Everybody needs to be using my cleanser. It goes in and cleans out your pores. It gets all the pollution, the toxins, the makeup if you're wearing makeup, sweat, lactic acid, all the things that aggravate your skin when you have rosacea. So I start with step one, which I've described, and then I progress to step two. At night, that's vitamin A plus. In the daytime, that might be emu, where if you need more. Definitely my cleanser, which you should always use at night. Most people don't need cleanser in the daytime because if they've washed it at night, their skin, they're not doing anything that, unless you sweat a lot at night, then we'll have to talk about your hormones. And so then ultimately, after we've anti-inflamed your skin, we then start making your skin healthier by stimulating it to exfoliate some. And we have to do that very cautiously. So exfoliating repair would be my first, would be part of, it would really be step two for me in this particular case, because depending on how bad your rosacea is, if it's just a little bit, exfoliating repair, incredibly anti-inflammatory. It helps get rid of the rosacea, but it's also stimulating your skin to volumize so that it helps protect it against the onslaught of sun. And also, if you're using makeup, for instance, that is toxic. So we'll talk about non-toxic makeups in the future because that's an essential piece of the puzzle. You don't want to be putting anything on your skin that's toxic. Toxic equals inflammatory. Inflammation is the cause of all disease and aging. Rosacea is an inflammatory condition, as are most things in the body, which is why we are always very busy putting out the fires of inflammation on a regular basis. So hope this helps. That's good insight into what you should be doing to help with rosacea and why you have it, most importantly, because you got to cure the why. Otherwise, we'll never win. Thank you. Hope this helps.